Yeah, so how's the podcast going to open? Is it going to open with just this?
It's going to open with, hello, loves, welcome. You've come to Cosmic Bos, and they're having a little chat about Michael Schur. He's a director, isn't he? Yeah, no, they just dragged me in off the streets. I'm still black. Actually, no, they seanced me because I died years ago. But these poor fellas, they've seanced me back to life. And now I am here doing this introduction. Can I have my cocaine now? No, Silla. No, go on. No, go on. Just give it. You haven't even introduced it properly. Come on. Just give me a wee bit of that cocaine.
Give her a little bit, man.
Okay, you go have some coke. Yeah, thank you very much, Eldon. Lovely. Welcome to the Mike Schur. What's it called? It's a Mike Schur thing. Yes, that's right. Silla Black presenting for you. Here's Cosmic Bos. Nick and Andy. Going to talk about Mike Schur. Yeah, go. Okay, I'm going to go now. Bye.
See you later.
Bye, Silla.
I'm not sure we should keep using her, mate.
No, I mean, well, we spent all that money on the Ouija board to summon her.
That's true.
I wish we could have summoned someone else. We were trying to get Bowie, weren't we?
Anyone cooler.
Yeah, but we ended up with drug-laden,
croaky voice Silla.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the effects of being dead and
loving
to
cocaine.
Drugs.
Yeah. But yeah, how are you?
I'm good.
Good, sure. Well, I'm Nick.
Oh, yeah, and I'm Andy.
Hopefully we sound quite different.
If
we often have this problem.
Yeah, I mean, we're brothers, so our voices are similar.
Yeah.
But they're from slightly different ages.
They are. Yeah. That is true.
Yeah. I wonder if you could tell from listening to our voices which one of us is older. So if we say something. So out of which of those two somethings do you think was the eldest? Send all your answers to cosmicbos@gmail.com. One S on Cosmic, or not on Cosmic. Actually, it's one S in Cosmic, but also only one S in Bos.
Yeah. So we've decided to have a chat about someone we quite like, right?
Absolutely.
We're going for just a slightly different podcast and going to talk about Michael Schur.
That's right.
It's called It's a Schur Thing.
Yeah.
Who is Michael Schur to you?
Well, Mike Schur to me is a creator and director and writer of American television. And he's made 4 of my absolute favourite shows.
Yeah? What are they?
Those 4 shows are in order: The Office, An American Workplace, give it its full title, Parks and Recreation, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and The Good Place.
Yeah, that's the 4. They are the 4. I love them all.
Yeah, excellent.
So I'm excited to tell you about it, or talk to you about them all.
Yep, this is not going to be a ragging on Mike Schur thing.
No, it's going to be how much we love you, Mike Schur.
Yeah, Mike Schur, if you are listening, we absolutely love you. And if you've got a spot somewhere in one of your shows for a couple of improvising musicians, give us a shout.
English brothers.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good setup, surely, for the start of a story. Ding.
Janet.
Yeah, that's right. Janet just appeared.
Janet, I'll just turn that off, shall I?
Okay, so that was,
cool, mate. Well, look, I've got Wikipedia here.
Excellent. Can you read us some Mike Schur facts? Yeah.
Okay, so just Michael Schur's Wikipedia page. Michael Herbert Schur, born October 29th, 1975, is an American television producer, writer, and character actor. He was a producer and writer for the comedy series The Office and co-created Parks and Recreation with Office producer Greg Daniels, who we'll probably talk about a bit as well.
Talk about Greg, yeah.
He created The Good Place, co-created the comedy series Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and was a producer on the series Master of None.
Oh, Master of None, that's amazing.
Mate,
we'll talk about that as well.
So, like, that's just the opening paragraph, and
you missed out the end part of that. Is he also played Mose Schrute in The Office?
He did. Let's talk about The Office then, shall we?
Yeah. So should we go straight into our first thing?
Let's start with The Office. Because he didn't create this show, right?
No, he didn't. It was, I guess originally The Office was created by Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant.
Yeah, I'd agree with that fact.
Because it's based on a British series, which is called The Office.
It is.
Yeah.
Not an American Workplace.
It's not called an American Workplace. No. And it's not also called an English Workplace or British Workplace.
It's just called The Office.
It's just called The Office. And actually, it was probably one of the most successful series ever in England.
In British telly, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I remember it being pretty huge at the time.
Yeah, I remember watching it when it first came out, and I at the time was working in an office.
Yeah.
And I remember having these really funny moments where, after that first one, a couple of people thought it was a documentary and not a comedy.
Yeah.
And it was definitely a comedy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that guy would have been fired on the spot. There's no they would have put that documentary out.
From episode 1?
Yeah, especially that end bit where spoiler alert for the British office.
There's going to be lots of spoilers throughout this. I think we'll state now, we're about to talk about the American office.
Yeah.
There will probably be spoilers. So if you haven't seen it and you want to watch it, jump forward to the next section.
Yeah.
At some point.
We'll leave a little gap and insert Scylla maybe.
Yeah.
Pay her a bit more to come back.
Yeah.
Or we'll probably forget and just jump forward a bit.
Yeah. Just keep pressing that plus 30 button or whatever.
So, because something that we previously talked about is we're going to do a a cappella vocal version of each of the theme tunes to these shows as we're talking about.
Yeah.
So maybe should we do that for the American Office?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can't really remember it.
Well, maybe we should just pause our background music because otherwise it's. Oh, just so if you are a new listener to Cosmic Bos, that background music, we improvised that.
We did.
Yeah, and then we revised it. And it's on a podcast.
It is.
Yeah.
Is that?
So,
how's it go?
Do you remember?
As soon as you start it, I'll get it.
Yeah. Now Parks and Rec's the only one I can get in my head.
Is it, I've got the fast bit. What's the... That was quite good.
Yeah, that was.
Well done. Thanks for reminding me of that.
Yeah, so that also we don't step on any copyright toes because we a cappellaed that. Yeah, baby.
Okay, I've got a question.
Uh-huh.
What was the spoiler for the British one that you were going to say earlier? Do you remember?
What was the spoiler that I was going to say about it? It was.
Oh, it's not a documentary. Was that what it was?
Well, no. My spoiler was going to be that. Should we have the music back?
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's all right. My spoiler was going to be that he fake fires Dawn at the end of the first episode, which is exactly what they do in the American Office.
I found with Series 1 of the American Office very similar to the British one. In fact, watching... Because the first series is also only 6 episodes. Yeah. And didn't struggle with it, but getting used to Michael Scott and Steve Carell rather than Ricky, because I've seen the English one, loads.
And all of Ricky's stuff, in fact. Quick shout out.
And
we should
Ricky
do a separate
Gervais.
show about Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais is a hero. Yeah, we should. Yeah, absolutely. We love all his shows.
But you're absolutely right. Like the first season of the American Office is very much like aiming similar to the British one.
Yeah.
It's that it's very cynical, and in fact, if you are listening and you want to know more about The Office from people who are involved in The Office rather than 2 random people that are just saying how much they love Mike Schur, then you should check out the Office Deep Dive podcast with Brian Baumgartner, who plays Kevin.
Wicked.
It's very, very good. And that goes into a lot of depth about this very subject.
Cool.
So after that first season, it wasn't expected to be picked up. So they made a lot of changes to it in order to keep it on the air. So they softened Michael Scott. They made him less like David Brent. They added in sweet moments. And in fact, Mike Schur is the guy who talks about it on the Deep Dive podcast.
Oh, wicked.
And he says about how Greg Daniels was very much about, we just need to add a little sweet twist to the end of it.
Yeah.
So a quick history on Greg Daniels. Greg Daniels was a Simpsons writer who then co-created King of the Hill with Mike Judge. He likes working with mics.
Yeah.
Mike Judge is another guy that we should do a whole podcast on.
Does he do podcasts as well, Greg Daniels?
I don't know.
Because that way he likes mics, doesn't
he?
He microphones.
Microphones. I wonder if he has worked with a microphone.
A Mr. Microphone.
Yeah.
Do you reckon somebody exists with that name?
If you're out there and your name's Mike Rophone, would it be Rophone
Raffone. Yeah, like an Italian name.
Yeah. Well, my name is Michael Raffone.
Michael Raffone.
Yeah, that's my terrible.
That's good. That's good.
But yeah, so he created King of the Hill with Mike Judge.
Also a very good show.
Absolutely. My wife is a massive King of the Hill fan.
Yeah.
It's her favourite show.
Whatever.
I think so.
Wicked. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. And part of the reason for that is that it also has that sweet twist at the end. So where shows of that kind of era often ended on cynical things, certainly British stuff, King of the Hill always ended on a sweet moment that made you go, oh,
yeah.
And that he brought that definitely across into The Office.
Yeah.
And Mike Schur he was writing previously, I think, for Saturday Night Live. I'm pretty sure it says it on the Wikipedia.
Yeah. Probably does.
That he was working on Saturday Night Live and something else.
He was working in 1998 as a writer for NBC's Saturday Night Live.
In fact, he became the producer of the Weekend Update, which was a part of the Saturday Night Live thing where Amy Poehler and Tina Fey and Maya Rudolph, all of those amazing performers that he has scattered throughout his shows, are all Saturday Night Live performers.
Right, cool. Aziz?
I don't think Aziz was, but
I don't even know, what Saturday Night Live is, really.
Well, so Saturday Night Live,
it's on Saturday night.
We're off like crazy. This is great. So Saturday Night Live is like a comedy show that they have in America that is on Saturday night.
So I got that bit.
Yeah. But it's been running forever.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Most groups of comedians, like, if they can, they try and get themselves a tenure on Saturday Night Live. So one of my favourite working comedians at the moment is Fred Armisen, and he started on Saturday Night Live. Cool. He turns up in all of these shows randomly as well.
Okay,
he's amazing.
Cool. So he's got a group of people that he's kind of used since then.
And then there's another set of improvisers. I think people like Nick Kroll and Jason Mantzoukas. I don't think they were Saturday Night Live people. But
no, Mantzoukas was doing improv in New York, wasn't he, somewhere?
I think he went to the same place that Amy Poehler set up. Yeah. There's a lot of history about this that we probably shouldn't be talking about because it's two random blokes.
No, but it's cool.
Yeah.
So this is where he found his cast, and he was writing. Is it quickly Saturday Night like a sketch show kind of thing?
Yeah. They kind of have they usually have a famous guest comes and does an opening monologue. Yeah. I highly recommend you check out Donald Glover's one and Dave Chappelle's. They're really amazing.
People.
We should do a Dan Harmon community Rick and Morty podcast. We're just writing down all these ideas for this future podcast for you to check out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Mike Schur was taken from Saturday Night Live and then went to write for The Office.
And he remained as a writer for it.
Yeah. So the really interesting thing about The Office's writing thing is that Greg Daniels wanted all of his writers to be performers and be part of the show. So Mike Schur is in The Office. He plays Dwight's cousin, Mose, who has very few lines and basically just runs away at any opportunity. He's amazing.
Do you think that was done to take the Michael out of Mike Schur?
Oh, absolutely. So he was just Schur. Because he had all the Michael taken out of him. I also think it's quite interesting that Michael Schur is quite close to Michael Scott. As in, it's the same amount of letters in the surname, and the first two letters are exactly the same.
He spells his surname strangely.
He does. Schur.
Yeah. But he's American. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's American. We're looking at a picture of his smiling at us.
Look, he is a bit of a hero, though.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
so just quickly from where I was there, with the Office writing team that he originally set up, I think for season 1. He had BJ Novak, who plays Ryan the Temp. Yeah. He had Mindy Kaling, who plays Kelly Kapoor.
As a writer?
They were writers.
Oh, wicked.
So they were both writers on the show. And Paul Lieberstein, who plays Toby, was another writer.
Amazing.
And Mike Schur was the fourth.
Right.
And then Greg Daniels. So these are the 5 writers that wrote the first season.
Quite a small writing team.
And obviously The Office became a massive success, and so talking about The Office is kind of, you can go and find everything out that you want to about it.
It's a beautiful show.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful show.
And needs to be seen in its entirety.
And I think once they got to sort of season 4 or 5 of The Office, and it was doing really, really well, the network approached Greg Daniels and asked him to create a new show, which was originally meant to be a spin-off of The Office. And the name that they had tied to this new project was Amy Poehler. So Greg Daniels needed somebody to create the show with. He was like, he knew he couldn't really go off and just do it on his own, so he chose he knew that he couldn't take BJ Novak because he was Ryan, and he couldn't take Mindy Kaling because she was Kelly, and he couldn't take Paul Liebstein because he was Toby. The only person he could legitimately take, because they're not a regular character, was Mike Schur. So that was why he was chosen to co-create Parks and Recreation.
So what it obviously isn't created as a spin-off. I know it's just got a work-based similarity.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that at the beginning of the Parks and Rec bit. This so Mike Schur didn't create The Office. It was created by Ricky and Steve in England. It was developed for American television by Greg Daniels, and Mike Schur was hired as a writer. But you can see from The Office that Mike Schur clearly developed his style and his approach from working on that show. Of
course.
So then the first thing that he's credited as creating, or helping create, is Parks and Rec. Should we have a song?
Yeah, we can have a song. Quickly, so just because we're rounding up The Office,
we should round up The Office.
I just want to get your opinion on it as a fan. I assume you're a fan of The Office.
I'm a massive fan of The Office.
You quite recently finished it.
Yeah,
I believe.
I previously had only watched seasons 1 through 6.
Yeah.
And then I stopped watching it because I got with my wife and she hadn't seen it, so I didn't want to continue. And it's taken until this year to us, because it's appeared on the UK Netflix. We were like, yay! We came through it, and I got to see the last 3 seasons I hadn't seen.
Series 8, the weakest of the series.
Yeah.
It ends really, really well.
The finale is great, and I think most shows can live or die by their finale.
Of course.
And it's like some shows, it's hard to recommend people watch them if you know it doesn't end well. So the biggest case in point for that, I think, for me, is Dexter, being like a show that I feel like the first 4 seasons are amazing, and then it's just this downwards slide to rubbish.
One of them slides that goes round, so it just keeps doing the same thing, but worse.
But it's difficult to say to somebody, you watch Dexter, but after season 4, stop. Because they'll be like, but no, I want to know what happens.
My wife was one of them people, but she didn't. She stopped because you recommended Breaking Bad to her, I think. And she jumped on that.
Which was by far a stronger choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
My opinion on The Office is that it's great. It's really unique. It's really sweet. It's all about the characters, and anything comedy-wise, I think from the early 2000s, the best shows are the ones where it started to make the characters feel more real. Like the end of the Friends era, the end of the laugh track sitcom stuff. Like, what's so great about The Office is that they don't nail it all the time, but it feels genuine most of the time. And part of the letdown of the later seasons is the introduction of famous people, so you know who they are. Like when James Spader's in it, it's Robert California, okay, but he's famous.
Idris Elba.
I don't. Idris Elba doesn't bother me as much because I think he plays the role really well, and Kathy Bates does too, but she's a bit too famous, so
absolutely,
kind of breaks the world a bit.
No, I know what you mean. I think I really enjoyed it as a show. I really enjoyed the ending. I love the meta. They're watching themselves and becoming famous, and I really enjoyed that. I think, I forgot what I was going to say, mate.
Well, did you feel was the weakest elements of The Office, rather than?
Well, I was really pleased when it basically went away from the English one. So I compared series 1, only because I love The Office, but I wouldn't say I'm an avid Office mental case. So watching series 1 was quite interesting. Whereas when that first episode of series 2, the Dundies episode, it changed it all. And me and Dre absolutely smashed it out in like a month or something. It's brilliant. So I did really enjoy it.
Every time you were seen you were like, yeah, done another couple of seasons.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And you were like laughing at me, and then a month later you were like, oh, we're doing the same thing. But yeah, it's a damn good show. But for me, Mike Schur gets better.
Yeah. I think because he pretty much leaves the office in season 5 to go to make Parks and Rec. So the later seasons of The Office don't have Mike Schur and Greg Daniels, which is where the famous actors start appearing and this sort of stuff.
Change, yeah.
They kind of were good at keeping it more level.
Yeah.
The showrunner once Greg Daniels left The Office was Paul Lieberstein. So Toby became the showrunner with another woman. I can't remember her name. Sorry, unnamed awesome showrunner of
Insert
The Office.
name here.
Alison something maybe.
Alison Brie.
It's not Alison Brie, but because she was busy working Community, I think, at that time.
Yeah, okay, fair.
We should also point out always where Alison Brie is at any point.
In life.
So at this point in time, I think she was doing Community.
Yeah.
And
you mean this time we're talking about The Office, not right now?
Not right
Community
now.
is well over.
Oh, it's well done, isn't it? Oh, but 6 seasons in a movie. It should be a movie.
Yeah.
So if you know any details about the Community movie, please email us at cosmicbos@gmail.com.
One S on the bus.
Yeah. I don't know why you'd be listening to this podcast if you were, deeply busy making the secret Community movie.
No, somebody might know somebody who knows somebody, and they might be listening.
If you're listening to this because you think we in some way know Mike Schur, we don't know Mike Schur.
No idea. Never met him. Would like to meet him. I imagine him being pretty cool.
Yeah.
I enjoy listening to him on podcasts. He's very grounded and honest. It's nice to listen to him talk about himself without blowing smoke up his own arse, which is what is easy to do.
It is when you're that great.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's have a song.
Cool.
This is a song that we improvised.
Oh yeah, we make music, don't we?
Yeah. That's actually, if you check back in our podcast feed, you'll see lots of improvised music and then revised music.
Loads of it.
Absolutely.
We've done 17 albums
at this point,
and we're going to do more.
We are going to do more.
So yeah, if you're enjoying this, listen to that. But this is one of them songs.
Yeah, and it's called We Are the Workers. Yeah, see what we did there, because it's about The Office.
We're working,
so clever. Hey. Seagulls.
We get up every day. In that we don't get a say. And we guess it is okay. 'Cause we got bills to pay. We all need the way. In the economic age. But it's 50 years a slave. The correct way to behave. We are the worker. We are the worker. And we work for it. We work for it. This is a catastrophe. Financial atrophy. Fat cats gone screwed up. And overused us. Time lost to apathy. Resow this tapestry. We are
All right.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the We Are the Workers?
Oh, I did enjoy We Are the Workers. Yeah, it's one of my favourite songs we've done.
Yeah, we made a video for it, didn't we?
We made that a long time ago.
We did.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
There is a video of it. Yeah.
I think when we were making that, Mike Schur was making The Good Place. But
Okay.
we need to pick up from where we were. So at the end of that last bit, we were talking about Mike Schur, weren't we?
Oh, yeah,
Because it's
Mike
a Mike
Schur.
Schur thing that we're doing.
Is that what it's called, a Mike Schur thing, or it's a
Mike
Schur
Schur
thing?
thing.
It's a Mike Schur thing.
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
We might change that,
Yeah.
but okay.
Anyone listening to this will know because it will say it in front of them. So if you just say it, we'll leave you a little gap for that you can say. So this thing, that we're doing that's called. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we're talking about Parks and Recreation.
So this is the show that he and Greg Daniels went off to create together. Yeah.
Which was originally going to be a spin-off of The Office.
Can I just say something?
You can.
I always, when I say the name Greg Daniels, I always think of Greg Davies.
Oh, the British comedian guy.
Yeah, and I can't help it. And it's not the same person, but I picture
they're
him
not.
being similar,
They
like
are both very tall.
7 feet or something.
Yeah,
It's
they are
like-
both very tall. Do you want to pull up a picture of Greg Daniels and you can have a look? It'll probably click a link on there. There it is, where it says Greg Daniels.
Where did it say Greg Daniels?
It's above there.
Oh yeah,
Next to
there.
Mike Schur.
Okay, just clicking. There he is. He looks lovely.
He is lovely.
Sorry, but yeah, I picture giant comedian Greg Davies.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
He is.
Check him out if you haven't heard
We'll
of
do a
him.
podcast about him in the future.
Maybe one day.
He's not got quite as big a illustrious career as
No.
Mike Schur.
So when did Parks and Rec get created?
I don't know. Do you want to read the
Okay.
the intro from Wiki?
Yeah, Wikipedia. Okay, Wikipedia says Parks and Recreation, also known as Parks and Rec, is an American political satire mockumentary sitcom television series created by Greg Daniels and Michael Schur.
Mike Schur.
The series aired on NBC from April 9th, 2009 to February 24th, 2015 for 125 episodes over 7 seasons. It's a long paragraph. A special
It is.
reunion episode aired on April 30th, 2020. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen
I
that.
haven't seen that
yet.
either.
Oh,
I've seen a bits
damn
of it, but the
So
series.
We won't be able to spoil that.
Yeah, okay. We need to watch that though.
Yeah.
It stars Amy. Interesting. You call her Polar?
Yeah.
Fola?
It's polar.
It's definitely Polar.
Because her
Okay.
nickname is the Polar Coaster.
That is amazing. She plays Leslie Knope, a perky mid-leveled bureaucrat in the Parks Department of Pawnee, a fictional town in Indiana. I didn't know it was fictional.
Yeah,
That's
it's not a
interesting.
real place.
So this is possibly, I'm putting it out there already, possibly my favourite of the 4.
Ooh.
But like I hold it dear to this because I watched like the first couple of series of this whilst travelling, so I was not doing much and loving life.
And I think so. Parks and Rec sort of has a similar issue to The Office in that the first season is not really representative of where the show goes.
Agreed.
The tone is still a bit off, and everyone finds Leslie a bit too crazy.
Yeah.
But by season 2, they softened Leslie and made everyone actually like her.
Same as The Office.
Yeah, and Leslie Knope is absolutely one of the best characters in the whole world ever.
Knope 2012, mate.
Absolutely.
I would have voted for her.
Knope 2021. Can she run? Can Amy Poehler run as Leslie Knope in the actual election?
Maybe not as Leslie Knope.
She'd have to run as Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
Polar Coaster.
I didn't know that was her nickname. That's great. She's also in some great shows.
Amy Poehler is
And she works
phenomenal.
on that other show that I really like, Broad City. That's really good. She works on
Broad City.
that. Yeah, man, it's sort of like these same people, as you said earlier about the comedians and people probably from Saturday Night Live. They all work together.
Yeah, there's these
great.
circles, and it's really nice.
Yeah, they're amazing.
There is a similar thing in England. There's little groups of comedians that you see work their way around.
Yeah.
Like Richard Ayoade started off working with Matt Holness and Alice Lowe, and they've all gone off and done their different things.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
I mean, Richard Ayoade is one of the most well-known British comedians now.
He's
Surely
amazing.
he is absolutely amazing.
amazing.
And his character's called Moss, which is very similar to Mose,
It is.
which is who Mike Schur played in
And
The
you don't
Office.
see him in much else acting, Richard Ayoade wise. Do
No,
you?
that's true.
He's more of a
mainly the
comedian
IT,
now,
yeah.
and right?
Yeah, he
Travel
was-
Man. Have you seen Travel Man?
Travel Man is
That's brilliant. We should do a
amazing.
podcast about
We
Travel
should
Man.
definitely do a chapter. Well, Richard Ayoade, because he's also a director.
He is a director.
Have you seen Submarine?
I have seen Submarine.
Oh my
yeah.
God, Submarine's amazing.
Yeah, and that's also got Alex Turner doing all the
Yeah,
music.
it does all the
Right.
music.
From the old Arctic Monkeys.
Oh, wow. Look at us
Monkey
name dropping
Face.
everything.
Yeah, but we know stuff, which
We
is
do.
nice.
So back to Parks and
Yeah, yeah.
Recreation.
Yeah, I agree. Series 1 is the hardest to get through. Not hardest to get through because it's still enjoyable, but
Look, it doesn't have its comedy heart quite yet. And
you're right. It's basically because of Leslie.
Yeah. Everyone reacts to Leslie like, oh, Leslie,
Yeah.
like they do to Michael Scott in season 1 of The Office, and then season 2 is though that no, Leslie's right, and
Yeah,
Leslie
yeah.
is always right,
Yeah,
and Leslie's amazing.
yeah. Let's go with it.
But like, really, what makes Parks and Rec so amazing is that they have got an awesome central character. The Office, Michael Scott is the best character ultimately,
Yeah.
which is why those last 2 seasons feel a bit lackluster.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
because they don't have Michael Scott.
Yeah. It becomes about Pam and
Yeah,
Jim.
Pam and Jim and all the
and all the side characters.
side
yeah.
characters.
They're amazing.
Absolutely.
All of them.
But it starts to become slightly less believable the more it focuses on them. But what they did right in Parks and Rec is they still kept the documentary thing, so all the characters still talk to the camera.
Yeah.
It's like they acknowledge that a camera's there, and they get really funny bits in those talking heads
Yeah,
moments.
the interviews.
But they don't frame it around the idea of it being a documentary. It's the cameras are allowed to be in with them, and the people aren't always reacting to the cameras in the same way, which makes Parks and Rec more relatable because they can let their scenes play out very organically rather than like. Yeah, I think that works in its favour a lot.
Yeah.
The Office's limitations meant that it was easy to break the illusion of it.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
Parks and Rec, it doesn't matter. You can add as many famous people as you like. It won't break the illusion of
that they are, actually in politics. Yeah.
And a lot of the comedy comes from the fakeness of Pawnee and the Little Sebastian. Big shout out to Little Sebastian.
Yeah.
And I just quickly to reveal to Nick, I got
This
a
is
visual
amazing.
reveal, which doesn't work so much audio-ly,
Audio really.
but on my
doesn't
t-shirt,
work. and he is currently exposing his T-shirt, which is Mouse Rat.
It's Mouse Rat.
Mouse Rat, which is Chris Pratt's band in the show Parks and Recreation.
Yep.
It's got Chris Pratt in it. That's a pretty good reason to watch it if you haven't already.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And
he's amazing in it.
Also one of the best
Yeah.
characters in it. And the thing about Parks and Rec is that every time you start talking about a character, you go, oh my God, they're the best.
Yeah, that's true.
So Leslie Knope is the best, but also Andy Dwyer is the best. And also April Ludgate is the best.
Yeah, Aubrey Plaza, she's a ledge.
Massive shout out to Aubrey Plaza. She's in several films with Alison Brie. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Have you seen
Alison
them?
Brie is amazing as well. Yeah. We've probably already
She's
mentioned
unbelievable.
that. Yeah, they were in a Christmas film together that Jay and I watched.
I haven't seen that yet.
Well, I'm not
That's
like
a lesbian Christmas film.
Yeah, I'm not fussed about like Christmas films unless I haven't seen them. Then it's
Or
like,
they've got
okay, I
Alison
don't
Brie.
mind. Oh, 100%. So that one will get watched every year. But
Excellent.
she's not in it that much though. So.
Oh, can you just skip to her bits?
Well, Aubrey Plaza's in it, so you go and
Ooh,
she's pretty
what's the
good as
Aubrey?
well. It's a pretty good film, but yeah.
Have you seen Child's Play, the remake?
No,
That's got Aubrey Plaza in it.
has it?
Yeah, she's the main mum character in it. And she's great, because she's Aubrey Plaza and she's great.
So in Parks and Rec, do you think all the characters are great, and you actually think all of them are your favourite?
Yeah.
Because there's a couple that I maybe wouldn't put in it.
Well, one name we have left off that list so far is Aziz Ansari.
Oh yeah, mate.
Tom
yeah.
Haverford, who is amazing.
Genius. Yeah.
And hilarious. And I also love his best mate, Sean Ralphio.
Ben Schwartz. Yeah, man.
And his sister, Mona Lisa. She's even better. And to this day, I always still quote her in the money, please. It's genius. And Parks and Rec is just beautiful.
Yeah,
and
beginning to end.
Like you said at the early part of this, you feel like this is your favourite. This is very, very high up my list.
Yeah. I think it's got so much heart. It's really positive and like hopeful, and you just
and legitimately hilarious.
Yeah,
I laugh out loud when I watch Parks and Rec like multiple times in every episode.
I think it's a really smart choice of locations or within the government to do, because it could go really serious and drama, whereas actually it's they lean into the funny side of what the Parks Department could do, and when raccoons are on loose and stuff like that. And yeah, man, Amy Poehler is amazing.
Yeah, she's hilarious, and what Parks and Rec stands out for having arcs as well, because spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't seen it, there's a big arc that runs through it where she's running for office and she is successful, and
Nope 2012.
Yeah, Nope 2012, totally. And it all doesn't work out for her, because once she gets into that place, she realises that her positivity and stuff it doesn't fly in the same way.
Yeah.
Everyone's corrupt and everyone's like Jam.
Sucked away, right?
The crazy freaking
Jam.
Yeah, you remember Jam?
Yeah, man, he's alright. Yeah, I won't say it.
Yeah, and then
I'll bleep myself.
But again, Parks and Rec, outside of those main characters, there's a couple more we should mention, because we shouldn't forget
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott and Rob Lowe.
Yeah, Ben Wyatt and Chris Traeger. Yeah. All of them, in fact.
Literally the best character.
You've also got Jim O'Hare,
who plays Jerry, Larry,
Gary.
Gary. He's got a million names in it.
Yeah.
And then the amazing Retta, who plays Donna Meagle, and she is hilarious.
Yeah. You've also quickly got Rashida Jones as Anne Perkins.
Lovely Anne.
Yeah. I'd say like she was my least favourite character, but at least my character who makes me laugh out loud the least.
She's meant to be the protagonisty normal person,
mother
in
of
there.
the group kind of thing. Yeah.
But we've missed a trick there, because Rashida Jones was in The Office.
She was in The Office. Also,
played quite a main character in it for a while.
Karen. Was she in it for that long? A couple of series.
She's in it for like half of season 3.
Oh, is that it?
And then she makes a couple of appearances later.
As
Spoiler alert.
Karen.
Yeah.
But spoiler alert for The Office, which you've already skipped if you haven't seen it.
If you haven't seen The Office, Rashida Jones turns up in it.
Yeah.
and she has a little fling with Jim for a while. And she gets well annoyed because Jim had a little kiss with Pam.
Oh, mate, she was fuming.
Well annoyed, but rightfully so. I feel sorry for Karen.
Yeah.
I mean,
But she goes off to
great.
be pretty successful in it.
Yeah, she does.
Spoiler
all right.
alert.
Oh, she
Does
does.
it count as a spoiler alert if you say spoiler alert after you've already said it?
Yes.
Okay,
It
brilliant.
has to, because that's what
That's
we've
what
done.
we've done the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
But yeah, anyway, back to Parks and Rec.
And quickly, yeah, so we've got Paul Schneider, who plays Mark Brandanowitz.
Mark Brandanowitz is only in it for
He's
like
in
a couple of seasons.
And
Spoiler
then
alert.
I'm saving the best for last. It's Nick Offerman. That's Ron Swanson.
Oh my god.
So he is your favourite, is he?
Absolutely. Ron Swanson is my favourite. My
If you were
wife,
to boil it down to one,
Nope Swanson,
Nope Swanson,
Haverford,
yeah,
all of them.
all of them. Yeah, they are all brilliant.
Well, what I love about Ron is his moustache.
Is that it?
Yeah. Well, it's not just the thing I
You
love about
could
it.
have a Ron Swanson moustache. Why don't you?
Well, I really want a Ron Swanson moustache, but every time I suggest it to my wife, she's like,
She's not
no,
interested.
you'll look like Pedo Man. And I was like, no, Ron Swanson! And she's like, no, Pedo Man. So that's why I'm not allowed
Okay.
the Swanson.
Yeah,
But
mate.
ever
Yeah.
since, a moustache is called a Swanson.
But also, Nick Offerman often.
Often.
Do people say
Offerman.
that? He often has a beard.
He does, normally.
And you have a beard.
I do.
So you're actually doing a Nick Offerman, not a Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
If you were copying one of the characters for Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I'm copying Nick Offerman.
Nick. He's got a good first name, I'd
He
say.
does. He's in lots of things.
Yeah, he's in
He's-
lots of things. He's also a stand-up comedian and a writer,
Absolutely.
isn't he? He's also great.
Big, massive shout out to Nick Offerman for being awesome.
Yeah,
And Ron Swanson has a lot of the most quotable elements of Parks and Rec.
yeah.
But
Bacon
yeah.
and eggs.
Oh.
Yeah. I think this show is just super sweet and hilarious.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't outstay its welcome. So 152 episodes. And this is where
125.
125 is a really good amount. Like,
Yeah.
what I like about Parks and Rec is it ends perfectly as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's similar to The Office.
Yeah. Which is really important. For a TV show to. Yeah, what you said. We said earlier that it just if it doesn't go out on a high, then it's easily forgotten.
Especially when you've bothered to tell like arcing stories and people are invested.
Yeah.
And that's it. Parks and Rec is really easy to get invested in. It's beautiful, and Mike Schur, you're an absolute legend for developing it with Greg Daniels.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something similar that Ricky has for his shows. Ricky Gervais always ends strong and
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about this definitely way more in our Ricky podcast, but my favourite and least favourite Ricky Gervais thing is Derek. Because the first season of Derek is the absolute best season of a television series, a British TV comedy.
I know what
And
you're
series
gonna say,
2 isn't, and it doesn't end on the same high.
Yeah.
And
say I
there's
remember
one
it.
reason for that,
Carl
and it's Carl Pilkington,
Yeah.
who is a podcast legend.
Is
Everyone
a
out there.
podcast creator? Or started it?
All right.
All right.
All right.
But he's not in Parks and Rec, is he?
He's not, but he should be.
Oh, hello.
Oh, we've got a
Got a
visitor.
visitor. Jay and Theo have entered the studio. And they're now leaving the studio. He is right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Parks and Rec sticks the landing. 7 seasons is the right amount. What I felt about The Office maybe is that it might have been even better if it had ended a bit earlier.
Yeah, agreed, yeah.
That sometimes you can just drag an idea a bit out too far.
I think I had that preconception of it for a long time because I only watched it, a year within the last year. And lots of people have told me it's really good. And the reason I went to watch it is because of Mike Schur.
Yeah,
Once I
absolutely.
found out that he was like writing on it, it was like, oh, okay, I've got to go back and watch this.
So that's it. So Parks and Rec was the first of his shows that you saw, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then imagine the next one, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, being the second one.
Yeah. Because that's been going for a while as well, isn't it?
And then The Good Place.
Yeah.
At
Later.
the end.
We'll talk about that later.
We will. Just spoiler alert for that. That's my favourite of the 4.
Yeah. That's a spoiler alert for you
For me,
and your fans.
if you're worried about knowing which, you're not even sure which one of us I am. So, am I the older one or the younger one? No one knows.
No one knows. I know.
You know. I don't know.
You don't know.
I should know, shouldn't I?
You should know, yeah.
But yeah, so Parks and Rec is would be my all-time favourite show if it wasn't for The Good Place.
Yeah. Okay, it's cool. I think The Good Place is equally fantastic, but it, like anything where you take it back to where you watched it and you remember it all, I think, it warmed my heart a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Parks and Rec is flawless. It's fantastic,
absolutely.
and highly recommend it to anybody.
And it's got some amazing actors in that have gone on to do insane things. Some feature later on.
They do.
But all right, well, should we have a little song?
Yeah.
Do you? No, you've already answered that question. I'll stop. What song are we going to have, mate?
Well, let's play the song that you can hear in the background right now.
That makes sense. Yeah. What's it called?
It's called Love Defined, and really, really love this song. I do love the song. I wrote it, so so now you know which one I am. Damn it.
Yeah. No. Well, does it?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they don't know our ages.
No.
So about me.
But yeah, this song is about loving something and understanding what love means, and Parks and Recreation is something that I love.
They nail love as well in the show.
Absolutely. And
Absolutely
it's a show about love, but not just sexy
about love. Yeah. Beautiful.
Friendship, love. Oh man, I'm tearing up.
I love you, man.
I love you too.
Oh my god.
Play that song. Oh, we should do the theme tune for Parks and Rec before we hear Love Defined.
We totally forgot to do that earlier, didn't we? Okay.
Because we did it for the office.
Let's go.
Okay. Can you turn the music down?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Because it might not have been turned down in the final mix, so as in when people are listening to this back, they'll be like, you didn't turn the music down, you said you were going to turn the music down.
Oh, I'll turn it down, it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's all right, don't.
There's no music currently.
So this is Cosmic Bos doing an a cappella version of Parks and Recreation theme song. Yeah, it's good. Great. Now play Love Defined.
Love seemed complex to me, so I looked it up in a dictionary. The words defined it rather vaguely. It said love's a doing word, it's both a noun and a verb, and it happens when it chooses to. And for me that's you, it's you that leaves me blind. It's you that blows my mind, 'cause you are love defined. They say that love is cheap, it flees the strong and tames the weak. It's the only port in bitter storms. They say that love is true and love should never limit you. It's the freedom to love it through and through. And for me that's you, it's you that leaves me blind. It's you that blows my mind, 'cause you are love divine. You are love divine. you that leaves me blind. It's you that blows my mind. It's you and I combine as the stars realign. You are love divine. You are love divine. You are love divine. You are love divine.
We're back.
We're back. That was Love Defined, taken from Cosmic Bos songbook album.
It's called From the Songbook.
From the songbook album.
You can find it on Spotify.
It is. That was done a while ago. That was you and I and Chris Mace.
Yeah. We're currently Macyless.
Macyless at the moment. Yeah.
Love this.
We recorded some of our own songs. That was one of them, written by Andy, about love.
Yeah.
It's
About
nice.
my wife.
About my wife.
Always about my wife.
So we're going to move on to the next Mike Schur project, right?
Yes. So I've brought it up on Wikipedia.
Wicked.
You've got Parks and Rec. So.
Yeah, you do it, mate. It's cool.
Okay, so I'll read this one. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is an American police procedural comedy television series created by Dan Gore and Mike Schur.
Ooh.
Rhyming names. Interesting.
Dan Gore and Mike Schur.
Yeah. The
No.
series revolves around Jake Peralta, played by Andy Samberg.
Yeah, right.
He's amazing. A talented but immature NYPD detective in Brooklyn's fictional 99th precinct, who often comes into conflict with his commanding officer, the serious and stern Captain Raymond Holt. Andre Brauger?
Don't know how you pronounce his name.
But
We
he's
should learn
amazing.
that.
He's my favourite.
Yeah,
Captain Holt.
he's pretty good.
The rest of the cast features Stephanie Beatrix as Rosa Diaz. She's my favourite, actually.
Is he really?
Yeah. Terry Crews as Terry Jefferson. Actually, he's my favourite.
He's pretty cool, yeah.
Melissa Fumero as Amy Santiago.
Yeah.
Is she your favourite?
No, she's not my favourite.
either,
No, she's not my favourite.
Joe Lo Truglio?
We
I'm
really should have
butchering these
learned
names,
these
aren't I?
names, but
Well, because I've only ever read them. I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever heard them. That's Charles Boyle.
he's pretty
He's
good.
pretty damn good, yeah. Chelsea Peretti as Gina Linetti.
Oh, the show changed. Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
Spoiler alert that Gina
Yeah.
Linetti leaves.
Yeah, massive shame.
It is a massive shame. Dirk Blocker as Michael Hitchcock. And
Yeah.
Joel McKinnon Miller as Norm Scully. So there we go.
They're both great.
They are
They
amazing.
can really come into their own. They're both
In
great.
fact, spoiler alert, one of my favourite episodes of Brooklyn is quite late, where there's a flashback to when young Hitchcock
Yeah,
and Scully solve crime, and that is amazing.
Something we haven't mentioned up until this point is Jason Mantzoukas.
Jason Mantzoukas, yeah.
He's not in The Office, but he features in Brooklyn Nine-Nine
Yeah, and Parks and Rec,
and Parks and Rec.
I think.
Yeah, he is in Parks and
Yeah.
Rec. He's the guy who Tom's trying to sell his
yeah.
perfume to. He's brilliant.
And he has a great role in The Good Place as well.
He has a very good role in The Good
One
Place.
of the funniest bits of The Good Place.
Yeah,
Maximum Derek.
pretty good cast for Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, absolutely. And it also has guest stars of several of the people that were in Parks and Rec and from The Office maybe as well. Definitely one great one from The Office being Craig Robinson, who plays the Pontiac Bandit.
Yeah.
Old.
Oh.
Doug Judy.
Daryl.
And Daryl from The
mate.
Office.
Oh, yeah, he's amazing.
Absolutely. We didn't
just
we didn't
watched
shout out Daryl too much from when we were talking
No,
about
we
The Office, did we? But
No, we didn't. We didn't shout out many characters to The Office, though, but Daryl's a good character. And
Absolutely.
As the bandit, he's amazing.
And later on, he has his sister in it as well, who's played by Nicole Byer, who I absolutely
Trudy.
love, and she's Trudy Judy.
Yeah, man. I watched an episode from Series 7 because it's just come on Netflix with them two in it.
Spoiler alert.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've
Oh,
seen
cool,
it, yeah.
brilliant. Oh, yeah, they're
You're not
still in
spoiling
it.
it for
Series
me.
7. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. As long as you say spoiler alert, it's fine. Do I need to read any more from this? I guess it's when it was created. That's interesting, isn't it? So, this was produced as a single camera comedy. Fox originally ordered 13 episodes for its first season, eventually expanding it to 22 episodes.
Wow.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine premiered on September 17th, 2013. So where does that fit in with Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec was 2009, so...
When did it end? Have you still got it up on Wiki?
2015, I think it said.
So I'm wondering what the lap over is between...
Yeah, it's got to be something in it.
Yeah. So at what point in Parks and Recreation did Mike Schur...
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah, so 2 years before Parks finished, Mike Schur went to create this with Dan Gore.
Dan Gore. Do you know much about Dan Gore?
I don't really know much about Dan Gore. Should we look him up, or should we do a podcast?
No, we don't.
on him in the
We'll do a
future?
podcast on him later. But he must be a pretty cool dude. There's Brooklyn Nine-Nine's pretty funny. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is very different to Parks and Rec and The Office. They've got a similar vibe to them, whereas this isn't mockumentary.
Yeah, so that's the first big departure for sure, isn't it? So for sure, for
No,
Mike Schur, he's gone from
is.
very documentary to a little bit documentary to not documentary.
Not documentary, like sitcom.
Yeah,
basically.
one thing that's really interesting and notable about all three shows is that they all have really strong cold opens.
Yeah.
So, because of the way American telly is, that they have to have this really funny little thing right at the beginning to hook people in. Like the cold opens in The Office are phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're often a prank or something that's not related to what the story is going to be at all. And Parks and Rec equally does amazing cold opens.
Absolutely. Do you think somebody is in charge of just writing cold opens?
Probably.
I find listening to the writing rooms really, or about the writing rooms, or listening to writers on podcasts, like really
Absolutely
interesting.
fascinating. Yeah.
Really interesting.
So we mainly know Mike Schur from listening to him talk about The Good Place.
Yeah. On their podcast, The
yeah.
Good Place, very good podcast.
One of the best. Worth if you're a big fan of The Good Place, which we'll talk about next. But
Yeah,
we've jumped back
possibly the best podcast host ever.
to Mark Evan Jackson.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think it's sank in the name, isn't it?
Yeah, Jackson, it's brilliant.
Yeah, everyone
Yeah.
can do it with Jackson.
That's why we started doing a podcast. So anyone out there who doesn't know, our surname is Jackson as well.
Yeah,
But Mark Evan is not one of our relatives, is he?
possibly distant. I don't know.
Mark Evan Jackson is actually our uncle.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
He's gone from possibly a distant relative to our uncle.
to an uncle, an
very
estranged
quickly.
uncle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll take that.
I mean,
He's cool.
yeah, absolutely.
He's mega cool. He features in Brooklyn
He
Nine-Nine.
does. So we have brought it back round. Good work.
He plays Kevin.
Actually, he's one of my favourite characters from Brooklyn
he
Nine-Nine.
plays Captain Holt's partner.
Yeah. So the
Spoiler alert: Captain Holt is gay.
Yeah, that's a spoiler for the pilot, isn't it? The first episode they reveal that he's
They
gay.
reveal it really quickly. Okay, well, still, you can't spoil the pilot.
So if you haven't seen the pilot or any episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, then Holt is gay. But
I didn't realise the reveal was so early.
I think it is right at the very beginning.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's
It's
a defining part of his character.
he's brilliant. We should really learn how to say his surname, but
Yeah.
he's amazing.
He's hilarious, and his delivery is impeccable.
Yeah, I think that's it. The difference this show, obviously, along with the mockumentary, or not doing the mockumentary anymore, is that this is a laugh a minute, or
It's
even
very
more than that.
fast-paced comedy.
It's very fast. It does different styles of flashbacks, and that.
Yeah.
The way that lots of shows actually sit on just that style of telling a joke, but they do a bit of that, and it's very fast-paced in comparison.
But I think it has, like, The Office and Parks and Rec are both workplace comedies, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine is also a workplace comedy, but because its subject matter is the police, it's actually quite a difficult one, and I think that's where, for me anyway, personally, Brooklyn sometimes missteps in that it tries to tell a too big a story too quickly and undermines itself.
Yeah. 20 minutes is not a...
Yeah, it's not big enough time to tell a mystery unless
it's over a few.
And not to say that they don't nail it, because there are definitely episodes of Brooklyn where they completely nail that idea. But I often find sometimes I'm like, oh, that was just too convenient. It all solves itself too easily.
It's the episodes where they're not solving crime, like they're heists.
it's the character studies.
Yeah,
and
there's that. Yeah.
That's absolutely what Mike Schur's shows are all about. It's really the character studies.
Yeah. Do you feel as a viewer that you care if they solve crime or not?
I think because of the nature of where they are and what they're doing, that it's almost like what plays in Parks and Rec's favour is that they do draw a lot of their comedy from the fact that they are the Parks and Rec department.
Yeah,
and the same with The Office. They draw a lot of their comedy from the fact they're a paper supplier in a day when that's coming to an end. And Brooklyn, by the very nature of being about police and crime, means that they can't go violent because of what it is. But that means that they're straight away cutting out a massive part of what actually police deal with.
Yeah, of course.
So I'd say a much better show to understand what the police are like is something like The Wire, where you get much more of an insight into what they're dealing with, because it's serious. It's not something
show.
Absolutely.
We should
Wire.
do a podcast about it.
Idris Elba is in The Wire, and he's also in The Office.
He is.
So
he's also a DJ.
The woman who plays Holly Flack, she's in The Wire.
From The Office?
Yeah.
Where? There we go. Look at that.
Linking facts there.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling that the people that wrote The Office, maybe Mike Schur, was a big fan of The Wire.
The Wire, I bet he was. It's a very good show. It's a very good show.
It's a big shout out to The Wire, but unfortunately for Brooklyn, it means, for me personally, I find that it can never go deep enough into that world. So the comedy is great, and Andy Samberg is an excellent lead.
Yeah, he's something special,
But he doesn't achieve the same thing that you get from Leslie Knope or from Michael Scott. That his character, by the nature of being more immature, means that he's closer to being one of the sidekick characters from the other shows.
I think, absolutely. It's not a particularly serious guy, and
they balance that out with a really serious captain, which is where they get most of their comedy from, is the backwards and forwards between.
I think as well, like it's also a show that has a lot of heart, and the difficulty again being only a 21-minute comedy, that having a lot of heart and having a serious, as you say, what the police deal with, and then comedy as well. It's way too much to try and squeeze in. But it's got the heart. Like, well, certainly the love story between the main two.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Jake Peralta and
Amy Santiago.
And can we talk about Gina? Yeah, we mentioned it earlier.
Let's talk about Gina Linetti.
It was heartbreaking for me when she was no longer in the show.
So something that connects this to The Office is that it's the leaving of a main character, isn't it? Because obviously Michael Scott leaves. Spoiler alert for The Office. Michael Scott leaves in season 7, and has the best outing for a character ever. That's what she said. And what with Gina leaves Brooklyn in season 6.
Yeah, I don't know.
She's in a few episodes in season 6.
Is it beginning of series 6 that she leaves? Yeah.
She leaves and then she returns. They have to go and get her for a story, don't they?
Yeah.
And Gina often has the funniest parts.
She's brilliant.
Yeah.
Chelsea Peretti is brilliant. Yeah. She does some. Have you seen her stand up? It's pretty good.
Yeah,
she's well funny. She also writes, didn't she? For she maybe even got called in to write for Parks and Rec towards the end.
Yeah, probably. You got it up there. We can have a look.
Possibly, yeah. But yeah, and then she obviously acts in this. Yeah, I just found it was losing a very strong character that wouldn't be easy to replace, and they didn't replace her. So.
No, and we haven't actually. Spoiler alert for anyone listening: we haven't finished season 7.
No,
yet.
Me neither.
And there's still a final season.
Oh, there's more.
I think there's going to be an 8th, so cool. We can't talk about the finale.
How far through series 7 are you?
About halfway, I think.
Okay.
Maybe just beyond
that. I'm about that as well, I think.
We had all the Debbie arc. Have you had Debbie, the girl that she's working with Captain Holt? And then the Pimento one with Jason Mantzoukas.
I don't know, but we just had the announcement that they're pregnant.
Right.
Spoiler alert. Assume you've seen that. You've seen that?
Yeah,
cool. I didn't want to spoil it for you. That's the last thing I saw. So, which is just us having a personal conversation about where we are in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And where are you? Let us know.
Yeah.
Email us.
cosmicbos@gmail.com.
Let us know where you are.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah. And do you like Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Because I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but out of the shows that we've been talking about here, I'd say Brooklyn Nine-Nine is my least favourite.
Yeah, I would agree. It would be my least favourite out of the four. I think it's very funny, but it's lacking something that the other shows bring.
It's I think it's because it doesn't have the mockumentary style, and at this point Mike Schur hasn't quite mastered the not that style, which is what he masters in his next show.
What's his next show?
His next show is called The Good Place. We've got to do the theme tune. Oh damn it, we forgot already.
We've forgotten already.
We're going to do the theme tune.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't turn the music down. And hopefully we won't. When we were doing this in rehearsal, we kept turning to Jungle Boogie, so let's hopefully stop it from doing it. I just ended it early. Yeah.
That was good. Okay, let's bring the music back in.
Yeah. The music's returned. Beautiful. I hope you liked our a cappella rendition of...
We were meant to do it at the beginning, but we forgot.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, check it out.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good show. Mike Schur's, he's great, mate.
Absolutely.
He's a good writer.
I don't think he stayed that involved in Brooklyn.
He's just a creator.
Yeah, I think he was around for the first few years of it.
Yeah.
It seems like that's what a lot of creators do in America.
Yeah.
They create something and then...
Get somebody else to do the work, man.
Yeah, I've done it
Make
now,
all the
moving
money.
on. Yeah,
it's genius.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, isn't it? It's being the boss.
So yeah, he swooped in, he made Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's like, here goes another one of my awesome workplace comedies for you. This time, Greg Daniels. No, he's not around. I bought this new guy, Dan Gore. For sure, Dan Gore. I mean, we probably should have looked up Dan Gore.
We should have looked up Dan Gore. Dan Gore, we respect you for your work on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And we don't know much about you.
No, so if you are listening, just if you could email us, or we could just look it up ourselves. Tell us where to look. Is Wikipedia good? Is there a Dan Gore Wikipedia?
We don't need Wikipedia.
No, we don't. We need Dan Gore to personally contact us.
Yeah.
Mike Schur, can you have a chat with Dan Gore and get him to give us a call?
Maybe Mike Schur just give us a call as well.
Or an email would be great.
Yeah. Just say hello, it'd be great. Yeah.
We can print it out on Dunder Mifflin paper and then frame it. Yeah.
Send it to the Parks Department.
Yes.
Where it gets
burnt,
stolen,
and sent to heaven.
Well, by the police,
and then burnt.
By the police and then burnt and sent to heaven. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, or put in a safe and without a...
One Swanson safe.
Yeah, Swanson safe. We're tying this all together.
Yeah, man, it's brilliant. We're spoiling alert and everything.
We are.
Spoiling alerting, is that a saying?
It is now, yeah, we've invented it. So, yeah, the song you can hear in the background is an awesome tune by Cosmic Bos, isn't it?
It's by us. Yeah, it is.
It's called Get Up to Get Down.
This is our James Brown, Stevie Wonder kind of tune. The reason we picked this song is in the video, there's a little, it's a Marja video, which is a toy video about a Swedish girl with perfect hair. And in this video, she creates the Marja Crime Unit.
Yeah, it's one of her TV shows she comes up with.
A bit like Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So, should we listen to this song?
Let's do it.
Okay, this song's Get Up to Get Down.
Get up to get down. Get up to get down. You gotta get up to get down. Gotta get up to get down. Gotta get up to get down. You gotta get up to get down. 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 I'm feeling ambivalent. Your concerns are irrelevant. Contemplating arguments, but flying solo makes no sense. You gotta get up to get down. 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 Automatic view up to get down. Gotta get 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 up to get down.
That was Get Up to Get Down.
Yeah, what a tune.
By Cosmic Bos.
Yeah.
This is just proving that we can do radio.
Yeah.
If people want us to do radio.
That was Get Up to Get Down by Cosmic Bos. And here's Cedar Black.
Alright, loves, what are you doing? Listening to radio, sitting at home, having your tea, are you? You got any drugs? You got any drugs? Send them to me. Cedar Black, I'm dead now, so just put them on a Ouija board and rub them around and I'll find it. Thank you very much. Oh, bye. Bye.
Thanks, Cedar. What was that?
Yeah, wait a minute. How did she get a microphone?
I don't know. Cheeky.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was that song though, yeah?
Yeah.
That song.
That was Get Up to Get Down.
We can do radio though.
Yeah, we totally can do radio.
I think you went for like a smooth jazz kind of 2 o'clock in the morning kind of radio.
What sort of radio do you think we would get?
I mean, we just do like afternoon show.
I reckon afternoon show, because you don't want to be that morning energy, because they're all like, "Hey man, yeah, how's it going?
Way over the top, like let's do everything."
We're going to talk to Jack the Sauce. He's out on the road. How you doing, Jack? I'm doing great.
It's all like that, isn't it? Like, oh man, chill out, it's the morning.
I kind of want to know a bit more about Jack the Sauce though.
Jack the Sauce, man. You have to tune in to Imaginary FM next
Bos
millennium.
FM. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, anyway, so The Good Place.
The Good Place
is the 4th Mike Schur show we're going to discuss.
Should we just quickly do the intro, because it's really quick?
Yeah, okay, let me turn the music down. I don't know it off the top of my head.
I'm pretty sure it just goes. I like something like that, isn't it? And then ding, hi there, I'm Janet.
Hi Janet. Okay, so she as a character is one of the best characters ever.
Oh my god, we're jumping the gun. Should we get on the wiki? Can you wiki us?
Can I wiki?
So we've to bring us up to speed now. We've had Wiki the Good Place.
All right.
We had The Office, which Mike Schur was a writer on. Then we had Parks and Recreation, to which Mike Schur was part of the creative team. Then we had Brooklyn Nine-Nine, to which he was also part of the creative team. And now we move on to his most recent final project, which is finished as well. Yeah. Spoiler alert. And that is called The Good Place. And it is credited to just Mike Schur.
Sure, he is the creator. Well, so I know a little bit about it from listening to other podcasts. But quickly, we didn't mention actually, Brooklyn Nine-Nine actually got dropped, didn't it, at one point from Fox?
Yeah.
And NBC picked it up. That was quite a major change in the show.
Absolutely.
I can't remember, Series 5 maybe?
Yeah, and it's a noticeable change. I think that's when Chelsea Peretti decision to not stay with it.
Yeah. But with The Good Place, apparently NBC contacted Mike Schur and just said, we want a new show. Like,
you've got a good track record, mate.
Yeah, you create whatever you want, 13-episode show. And he took that literally by going, okay, well, if I can do anything, I've got to do something well out there.
Absolutely.
And he wrote The Good Place.
Yeah. And the very opening moments of The Good Place is Eleanor Shellstrop, the central character, sitting in front of a big wall that just says, everything is fine.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And then she meets Ted Danson, who is...
Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
Michael loves
puts himself in, doesn't
he? He loves his own name.
It's a very angel name, isn't it, Michael? I think
it's a nice name,
yeah.
Strong name.
So, and his name's Michael Phone. And, oh no, it's not. He's just called Michael, isn't it?
It's just called Michael,
I reckon Raffone is his surname.
His name, Michael Raffone.
They kept it out of The Good Place originally. But anyway, so Eleanor Shellstrop meets
Kristen Bell, that is, who plays
Kristen Bell.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
she also features in Parks and Rec.
She does, and she is a legit snack.
Yeah.
Dax Shepard is a very lucky man.
Yeah.
We're just having a Kristen Bell moment.
Yeah.
We'll bring ourselves back. Alison Brie.
Dax Shepard's pretty cool as well.
Dax Shepard's amazing.
His podcast is pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a podcast about his podcast.
About Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert.
Yeah.
Big shout out to him. This is an advert for him. So if you want to send us some money, because we're giving you a shout out on our obviously more popular than your podcast, then we'll be happy about that.
Dax.
Yeah, Dax, pay your tax, your boss tax. Well, we love you, Dax.
Don't send it by fax.
No. Income tax? You can't send anything like that, can you?
Are we in your contacts?
Can we be in your contacts, Dax? Please add us to your contacts. This is Andy and Nick from Cosmic Bos.
Stack. Not your money, Dax.
I feel like we've run out of puns.
Some hair wax. Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry. Kristen Bell is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Like, phenomenal.
And so she meets Ted Danson, Michael, and he tells her that she is dead and that she's in the good place, that she's one of the very select handful of people that score enough points, because actually none of the religions were right. It's all a point system.
They're all part right, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like 0.5%.
A little bit right. And apart from a guy called Doug Fawcett, who
gets it 98%
he
right.
was really on it.
But that was because he was like high.
He was really high, wasn't he?
And talking nonsense.
Yeah.
He was right.
And he got it right.
And he lives his life that way.
Turns up as Chuck McGill.
Yeah, he does. Chuck McGill, Better Call Saul.
Oh, Better Call Saul. We should definitely do a podcast about that.
Yeah, that's another great show.
Yeah, it's coming up in the future. It's a Saul thing. Oh, we've come up with a title already. It's a Saul thing. So we're talking about Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Okay.
Yeah, coming up.
We've actually come up with a title for that one.
Yeah, it's good. I bet we forget it.
Yeah, blatantly.
So
but we'll listen to this.
Can you remind us, if you're listening to this, email us and tell us what the title of our
future podcast might be.
It's going to be. So anyway, what are we talking about? A Good Place.
So Eleanor is told that she's dead and in the good place.
Yeah. And that she's introduced to her soulmate.
Yeah.
She's Chidi Anagonye, or Ariana Grande, as she later on refers to him as.
William Harper Jackson.
Yeah. Oh, and he is phenomenal.
Is it Jackson again?
Yeah, it is Jackson again.
Man, it's all in the name, isn't it? Jackson. It's a good name. Good, strong name.
Yeah. And then she's introduced to her neighbour, who is Tahani Jamil, played by Jamila Jamil.
She is a British
gorgeous giraffe, as I think she's described at one point.
Yeah, she is gorgeous. Oh, she's amazing.
She is phenomenal.
It's her first acting role in this show. She's like a presenter, a British presenter, TV, radio, DJ kind of thing.
Absolutely amazing.
And
Big love for Jamil.
And then obviously introducing Jason.
So when you're introduced to him,
as an actor, Manny
Sinto?
Something like that. Yeah,
Manny Sinto.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
It's funny listening to people talk about him on the podcast, because they all just say how gorgeous he is, and every time you look at him, you're like, oh, he is well handsome, but well stupid. It's amazing. Yeah.
What is that? It's like a cartoon. It's the most gorgeous.
And his face to act his character, Jason is, or Jianyu.
Jianyu, yes.
Yeah.
So spoiler alert, his actual name, his character name is Jason.
Yeah.
So the first thing you find out once Eleanor Shellstrop has been introduced to all of these people, she then tells Chidi, or they're introduced to Janet, who we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, so best character ever.
Yeah, and Janet is the computer system that does anything.
Yeah, essentially Wikipedia, but as a person.
Yeah.
Knows
And
everything in the universe.
as you said earlier, Janet is one of the greatest characters ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the extent that I even have her on my background of my phone. So just
Every time you open your phone, it's
I can see
Janet.
Janet. Yeah. and
She's also an improviser.
improviser, absolutely.
Like,
She's
it's
amazing.
interesting listening to her talk to Mark Evan Jackson and stuff about it, and you can tell when you watch the show. Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, that's all the main characters, and then Eleanor reveals to Chidi, the William
Harper
Jackson, that
Jackson
actually
Harper Jackson.
she shouldn't be there in the good place.
Spoiler
it's a
alert.
mistake.
We're properly explaining this show. Why are we going into so much depth about this show compared to the other ones?
I don't know. It's because we're still working out.
Do you think it's because so something that benefits this show a lot is that it's only 4 seasons?
Yes. So this is a very complete story.
Yeah, from beginning to end, and ends perfectly.
So something we didn't talk about with Brooklyn is that actually the first season of Brooklyn's really strong. So where the first seasons of The Office and Parks are both a bit weaker, Brooklyn actually comes out the gate quite strong,
absolutely.
and establishes its characters early and has some really good stuff set up very quickly. And The Good Place is the same. It comes out of the gate really, really strong.
All guns blazing, yeah.
But what's different about The Good Place is it is one continuous story. So Brooklyn is still very episodic, same as Parks was, same as The Office was. But
Brooklyn's got such a slight underlay going the whole way through it, whereas Parks and Rec and The Office had a bit more, certainly Parks and Rec. But yeah, this is full on story from beginning to end, isn't it?
In fact, they present every part of it. It says chapter. They're not called episodes, are they? I think they come up. It says chapter 1 through.
Shall I read Wiki on it?
I think you should.
Okay. The Good Place is an American fantasy comedy television series created by Michael Schur.
Sure.
It premiered on NBC on September 19th, 2016 and concluded on January the 30th, 2020 after 4 seasons and 53 episodes. I assume that's not 4 seasons and 53 episodes.
The 53 episodes are split across the 4 seasons. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
I think this show is genius.
Absolutely. So I don't think we should spoil it, because if you are listening to this and you're interested, what we've told you so far should be enough to entice you into it. And I feel like we can talk about it without spoiling
anything. Yeah, naturally, I think, yeah.
Because it's an existential show. Like, it's where the others are about people and relationships, The Good Place is about philosophy and psychology,
ethics,
and the central concept it's asking is like, what is good? What is the concept of good? What is it to be a good person?
I've heard lots of good things come out of this show for people.
Because it's asking that question.
Because it's making you think, like, what's the right thing to do here? Or what's the good thing? What's the bad thing? And which is great. So a show that can be really smart, really stupid, and make you think.
How does Mark Evan Jackson call it? He calls it the smartest, dumbest comedy ever on television. And I agree. It's fantastic, and also because it's set in heaven or in the good place.
Good place, yeah.
It's not heaven. Actually, they make a point of it not being heaven.
Yeah, so all the religions were slightly wrong, or only a small percentage right.
But yeah, because they're in the good place, it allows them to draw their comedy and their stories without having to worry about the characters dying. And I think, like, I could see why Mike Schur would want to write something like that. Like, it allows him to explore these stories by almost running psychology experiments. So not spoiling anything, but they deal with the trolley problem a bit later on in season 2, and they look at that
moral
philosophical
decision.
idea, if you have a track and it splits between, there's an opportunity for it to go one way and it will kill 6 people, or you're in the position to flip the switch
track
and it go onto another track and only kill one person. And then the ethical dilemma becomes about your connections to these things. It's what if that one person is your mum?
Yeah.
Then would you be more likely to actually go stop those other 6 people if I don't know who they are?
Or the 5 people are murderers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I can't think of another television show in history that has ever bothered to try to include such a concept.
Yeah, absolutely. Make you think.
Yeah.
I can see why people come away from it feeling,
enlightened
good. And that's it. Yeah, absolutely. What it is to be a good person. I'd like to think I'm already a good person.
Yeah, I think you're a good person.
But the show makes you an even better person. So you should watch it just to be a better person.
Yeah, it makes you think about it, and it's.
Oh, yeah, but that's half the
great.
battle, isn't it? Half the battle is thinking about it.
And it's hilarious. That's the other thing.
Oh, mate.
I'd say
Super.
possibly actually the funniest of the 4 because of what it can do. Like, its jokes are extra layered by the fact that it's set in the afterlife.
Yeah. Well, it's infinite possibilities, hence the song. Infinite Possibilities Club. I also think, it's based on his characters of Janet. Like that alone is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, having a not human, a computer, not a girl.
Not a robot.
Yeah, computer. And Jason. Manny. He's nobody does stupid like he does stupid.
Yeah.
Even Kevin from The Office, who is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to Kevin.
Yeah.
Brian Baumgartner.
But this show is very complete.
Absolutely. And so we shouted out earlier to Jason Mantzoukas, and I think we should do a shout out to Maya Rudolph.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's one of the best comedy actresses working at the moment, and
These are all
Hollywood.
part of like similar circles, aren't
Yeah,
they?
absolutely.
So
They're the Saturday Night Live people,
Yeah, man.
Maya Rudolph, and she's so underrated. She should be given much bigger roles because she's hilarious.
great as the hormone monstrous in Big Mouth. We should do a podcast on that.
We should talk about Big Mouth because, in fact, several of the people that we've mentioned have all been in Big Mouth.
Yeah,
Kristen Bell's in Big Mouth. Nick Kroll is one of the main characters in
Nick
that.
Kroll's one of the creators.
He
Isn't
plays the hormone monster who talks like this, Maurice.
It's funny because he's got such a weird face. I love him. He also features in Parks and Rec and Brooklyn
Absolutely, he's the douche.
And Brooklyn, he plays some guy where they go to like a shoot-off thing or like a test, and he makes the 9/9 all hostages, and they break out and have a paintball fight.
Oh, massive shout out to Nick Kroll. He's amazing.
Great name.
He also dated Amy Poehler for several years.
Did he?
Yeah. Amy Poehler was married to Will Arnett.
I knew that.
And we haven't mentioned Will Arnett yet.
Will Arnett. Yeah, but
he's in
The Office.
He's in The Office. He's in Parks.
He's in Parks. Yeah,
She goes
on a date with him. Yeah, is that where they met? Amy Poehler and Will Arnett. Will Arnett's a pretty cool guy.
Will Arnett is amazing. We should do a whole podcast about
Batman.
Not just Will Arnett, maybe.
Arrested
Maybe it should be
Development.
Will Arnett. Well, if you can come up with a good pun title for us. Have you done your Will Arnett yet?
No. Will.
Where there's a Will,
There's an Arnett. That's terrible.
Yeah. There's a Will in Arnett.
Will you hold my Arnett?
Please hold my Arnett.
Will.
Will you hold my Arnett? Will.
Cheers.
This is
rubbish.
We've gone really off topic here. But anyway, Will Arnett.
So why you? So you mentioned that this was your favourite of the 4. What would be the defining reason, without spoiler alert in it?
I'm a writer. I like writing, and what I feel that The Good Place does, unlike any other show I've ever seen, is impeccable balance of writing concepts to comedy that where something that happens in all three of the other shows that we've talked about is that they sometimes drag. They sometimes tread water, and they're sometimes a bit inconsistent with their characters because it's a scripted show without that momentum. But The Good Place doesn't drop a beat from the beginning to the end. So there's only maybe one slightly slower arc in this third season, but even that I think is great.
Which one?
Spoiler alert, when they go back to Earth.
Yeah, but okay, so no spoiler alert.
No spoiler alert.
Well, that was the spoiler alert, but pretend you didn't hear it.
Yeah. You can press that little 15-second skip button.
Yeah, but you should have known to press it 15 seconds ago.
Okay, so go back and tell yourself. Spend the next 20 years of your life inventing time travel to go back and tell yourself so you don't get the spoiler about them going back to Earth.
Yeah. I think this has obviously only got 6 main characters, or you've got a core 6, whereas
the others are bigger cast.
The others are bigger, yeah.
Absolutely.
Brooklyn not loads bigger, but a bit bigger.
Yeah.
But this is like a solid 6 throughout. You don't really have too many characters. You've got Sean,
because a lot of
Jackson.
their side characters return lots. So rather than having lots of them, they have a few that they use.
And we should shout out Tia Serka, who plays Vicky.
Absolutely, Vicky is an amazing character.
Let's have a moment for her.
Absolutely, Tia Serka.
She's amazing.
You can contact us. We'll do a special Tia Serka.
We are 100%. She features in Master of None, I believe.
Absolutely.
Which we didn't mention earlier, but Mike Schur was part of it, wasn't he?
Yeah, Mike Schur helped out on Master of None.
Helped out Aziz.
Which is Aziz Ansari's Netflix series.
I
Me too. He's amazing.
Master of None is brilliant.
Massive shout out to Master of None. We haven't included that in this list because Mike Schur's. We could do, but there's only 2 seasons of it.
Pretty good though.
It is a perfect 2 seasons.
That's it. And ended well.
Yeah,
at the right time.
So good work, Aziz. Don't come back and do any more.
It's William Jackson Harper, by the way.
William Jackson
Not Harper Jackson. I apologise for getting that name wrong.
It's because we have Jackson on the end of our name, so we just assume that everyone's, if they've got Jackson in their name, it's going to be.
It's quite a popular first name nowadays.
It's a good name.
Strong name, mate.
Yeah. Big shout out to our name once more.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. So The Good Place is amazing, and absolutely, if you've not seen it, you should see it. If you've seen it, you'll know what we've been talking about is true. And massive thank you to Mike Schur for creating that. And I think that's mainly the reason that we chose Mike Schur as our subject for this, was that we knew we had a lot to say about his shows, and that they're all really different, but there's a common thread that ties them all together. And I think I want to say, if I had the opportunity to talk to Mike Schur in person, which this is probably the closest we're going to get, is doing a podcast where he might listen to it because it's got his name in the title.
Do you listen to podcasts with your name in the title?
I've never searched for my name, but my name's really, really common, so
probably not.
Most podcasts that are about Andrew Jackson would probably be about the president, Andrew Jackson from America, and that's not me.
No, okay. So no point in listening to it then.
But Mike Schur, if you are listening, I would like to say to you is that keep going, because The Good Place was the right direction.
The sure thing.
Yeah, it's a sure thing. So something that I haven't seen, but we should probably mention as well, is that Greg Daniels went off to make another show on Amazon that's called Upload. Sorry, I was going to say Utopia, but it's not called Utopia. That's another show.
Upload, okay, cool. On his own.
Yeah.
Greg Davies.
Yeah, Greg Davies and Greg Daniels worked together on the show.
Oh, brilliant. Even better.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but it's about a guy that gets into an accident and ends up being uploaded Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, me too.
Why have I not watched it, is the question.
That's the question I am also asking myself. So I think we should watch that, and then at some point we should do a podcast about it. Good Place versus Upload. Yeah.
So
let's have a break.
Should we have a break?
We'll have a little song break.
We like The Good Place though.
We love The Good Place.
I'm in a good place about it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, well let's listen to let's listen to a song.
This is a spoiler alert song. So if you've listened to this part and you don't want The Good Place spoiled for you anymore, don't listen to this song. It's not. It doesn't even meant to. Oh, shut up. Just play this song.
Okay.
Oh, the demons are coming out now. Oh, hello, demons. Bye, demons. Oh, hello, demons. Bye, demons. Bye, demons. Oh, hello, demons. Bye, demons. Bye, demons. Bye, demons. Bye, demons. Oh, the demons are coming out now. Bye, demons.
Whoa.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
What was the spoiler?
Bye, demons.
That was also made by Cosmic Bos, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
I remember that song well.
Me too. It was nuts.
2 minutes of craziness.
Yeah. Perfect Bos tunes.
Um,
If you've enjoyed the music while you've been listening to this podcast, please check out some of our earlier podcasts, which have got all of our songs on it.
yeah, we're on Spotify and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and we make some videos. We've made some pretty cool videos in our time.
We're big fans of Mike Schur, which I'm assuming if you're listening to this, you're a big fan of Mike Schur as well.
I reckon Mike.
You're not
might,
Mike Schur curious, are you? You're going to be a Mike Schur devotee.
Yeah, 100%. I think Mike Schur might like our stuff.
I hope that Mike Schur.
I
likes
hope
our
that
stuff.
he uses a character called Microphone.
We've given him that idea now.
Yeah.
He doesn't like ideas like that because it's stupid. He
Nah, he
prefers
likes
better
stupid,
ideas.
man.
Good one. He
Yeah.
likes good ideas.
Is that not a good idea?
If he wants to invite us into a writer's room, I'd love to go and work in a writer's room
Microphone.
with Mike Schur on
Okay.
your next show, Mike, whatever you can call it. We could pitch you an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now.
I've got an idea.
Go on.
I'm not going to pitch it now though because
Okay, no,
someone
I'll
might
save
steal it.
Mike.
Yeah, Mike, you're not
Hook
going to
us
steal
up,
it.
Mike.
Yeah. I've got an
Cosmicbos
idea.
at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. With one S.
So let's round it off, man. So let's have your order of the 4 shows. What from
Should we
from
bring
worst
Silla
from worst to
back
best?
back?
So we're going to play
it as
Blind
some-
Date.
We'll play it as Blind Date. We'll
Okay.
line them all up.
Yeah, that's right. You want me back, do you, lads?
Hello,
Okay,
Silla.
I'm coming. Hello, lads. How we doing?
You're doing fine.
Yeah.
Right.
All
What do you want me to do?
You're not listening. We were just,
Don't worry, I was listening. You want me to introduce you to
Yeah.
these 3 lovely bachelors? Is that right?
Well, there should be 4.
4 lovely bachelors. Oh, look at that.
Okay.
They're all TV shows.
I wonder,
as
it'd be
well.
interesting, Andy, if mine and your order's the same.
yeah.
I don't think it is. We already know that, actually, don't we?
Okay. But so yeah, because spoiler alert, we already know what our orders are. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
No, come on then, lads. Right, I want you to tell us. We're going in reverse order. We're going to
Okay.
start with, out of those lovely 4 shows, which is your least favourite that you wouldn't want to take on a date?
Okay. Well,
And first to you, Andy.
Okay.
Oh.
So my least favourite in 4th place for me is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Ah, what a shame. about
Okay.
you, Nick?
I concur. My least favourite would be Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Poor Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
A very good show.
Yeah,
I really
absolutely.
enjoy it. It's laugh out loud,
Yeah,
but lacks something for me.
Yeah, I think we covered that in our section,
Yeah.
and we didn't want to diss on Brooklyn because
No,
Brooklyn's
it's
amazing.
brilliant. And Sandberg, The Lonely Island, all the actors.
Rosa,
Stephanie.
Stephanie Beatrix. She gives a phenomenal performance in BoJack Horseman.
Yeah. Oh, we should do a podcast about
We will
BoJack
do a
Horseman.
BoJack. When we do our Will Arnett one, that's why we should make that one of our
Okay,
new
yeah, cool. We'll do that soon.
Yeah, I mean BoJack
Will
also has
Arnett.
a special connection to Cosmic Bos. In fact, our most popular video is BoJack related.
We've made music to back with BoJack
Yeah.
samples. You should watch it.
It's all on there.
It's on YouTube
watch
and
our
stuff.
other stuff.
No,
Loads
listen.
of people
Watch,
already
listen.
watch
Yeah,
that.
don't watch that. Listen to the other stuff
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
If you like BoJack, though, you should watch it because it's pretty cool.
I love BoJack and I've
Oh,
watched
right,
that
so
video
that's it.
lots of times.
You were very-
It's great.
You're very quiet there, Silla.
Yeah, that's right. I was over there doing lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of cocaine.
Oh,
That's
really?
right.
Again?
Always. That's all I do. I'm dead.
Yeah.
All I have
Yeah,
to do
really
is
dead,
stick
yeah.
things up my dead
Yeah.
nose.
I'm not sure why we had a seance for Silla.
It was a bit of a mistake, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
It's
it's because she's here now.
Well, we got all those cheap Ouija boards. That was, we shouldn't have bought them. That was a mistake.
Yeah, that was a massive mistake, but you made that mistake now, haven't you now?
Okay.
Snorted all your cocaine. Right, so, in third place, what do we have, lads? Go to you first, Nick.
Okay, so for me, third place would be The Office.
Ooh, The Office, and you, Andy.
I would also concur that
okay,
The Office would go in third place.
Ah, what a shame. Third
Yeah.
place for you, The
Again,
Office.
like, not a shame because it is also amazing.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like
When-
it's just sort of like Sophie's Choice. It's picking out of your four
yeah,
kids.
best, yeah.
You love them all, but there's one kid you love
Yeah,
more. than
yeah,
the
of
other.
course, yeah. And our mum and dad's is me, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what you reckon.
Yeah,
It's me, blatantly.
Yes, it's always the oldest or youngest.
Yeah,
Or we
absolutely.
don't know which voice is which.
No one can tell.
Mystery, man.
Yeah, guys, what are you doing? You're
Oh, sorry.
wasting all your cocaine
Okay.
on me.
So I think, Silla, this is where Andy and I are going to differ.
Okay.
All right, okay then, lads. So, what have you got in second place? Go to you first, Andy.
My second place goes to Parks and Recreation.
Ah, Parks and Recreation, good choice. And then you, Nick, what's your choice?
Yes, we do differ. Mine would be The Good Place.
Oh, the good place. All right, so I don't need to ask you what your number
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
are. Okay, I'll let you fight. Right, so it's Good Place versus Parks and Rec. Here you go. Here's a couple of swords.
We don't need swords.
Yeah,
Look,
man,
that's it.
Silla.
Come on, fight.
Nah,
No, we're not fighting.
Okay, I'm going over there then. See you later, lads.
Bye, Silla.
Bye.
I'm not sure we need her here, man.
Well, again, we waste a lot of money on those sales.
Yeah, but if we get rid of them, does it get rid of her? Or is she around to stay?
She might haunt us if we try and get rid of it.
That's right. I told them come back and haunt you.
Whoa.
Your microphone from all
She's
the way over
haunted.
there. Mate, yeah, so we differ on our favourites.
Uh-huh.
However, I like, they are both amazing.
Again, that's
Absolutely
like I
amazing.
said, it's kind of Sophie's Choice. Like, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Good Place is my favourite because it's so perfect.
Yeah.
But it could have easily gone on a bit longer and fallen into some of the pitfalls of the others.
I think that's it. The Office is maybe too long.
And Parks and Rec is the right length,
Yeah,
but
Parks
it
and
took a
Rec is-
while to get going, so that's where
Yeah, slow burner.
that would be why I put them in that
Yeah.
order. But I absolutely love Parks and Rec. I absolutely love The Office
Yeah,
and Brooklyn.
yeah,
They're
me
all
too, yeah,
amazing. Like,
So all in all, we're pretty big fans of Mike Schur,
we sure are.
and we assume you sure are as well if you're listening to this.
Yeah.
And if you're not and you come for the music, thank you for coming for the music. Check out Mike Schur's stuff.
Absolutely. And
And-
if you've got a different order from ours, please leave it in the
Email it,
comments.
yeah, yeah.
Leave us comments
Reasons
somewhere.
why.
Yeah.
'Cause,
And we'll happily fight you with swords
To
given
the
by
death.
Scylla.
I'm not sure
Scylla
I'd
death.
trust a sword from Scylla.
I know it's a bit floppy, isn't it? Is it a sword?
It's covered in cocaine.
Oh. Scylla.
But yeah, man, cool. Well, we've got several podcasts we need to make.
Absolutely.
About several things. But I think Will Arnett and Bojack might be one soon.
Probably a good one to go for, isn't it?
But we've got some new stuff coming up in between that. Haven't we? We've got some improvised stuff.
We have.
We normally do the improv revisation where we like cut it up and mix in stuff, but we're going to release some off the bat improv.
Pure uncut. Bigger, longer and uncut. It's like South Park the film.
South Park the film we're doing. With less swearing.
A lot less swearing than South Park, especially the film.
Yeah, the film broke a record, didn't it, at the time?
There's a V-chip, doesn't he, to stop him from swearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to take my V-chip.
We should definitely do a podcast.
We'll do a South Park one.
South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Okay, this is a conversation we could have off air.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we're not on air.
We're on airwaves.
Yeah.
Of some sort. In airbuds.
Ooh,
People
if you are listening in airbuds, please send us all your money to Cosmic Bos. Oh, that's Jeff Roasting.
That's Jeff Roasting, man, yeah. Cool, man. Well, had a good time?
I've had an amazing time. And if you've enjoyed this and you've listened all the way through, please leave us a comment or subscribe and tell us what you think about Mike Schur.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty sure you like Mike Schur.
Check out his stuff if you haven't seen it. Because it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
hopefully, so if you were Schur curious, then hopefully we've helped you make a decision that you don't need to watch them now because they spoil all of them.
We didn't spoil The Good Place. We've done pretty well to not spoil that
because that's good. Really want to talk about
it. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Maybe we'll come back later and do a spoiler-full version of The Good Place.
I mean, we did play the song after it, which kind of spoils a little bit.
It spoils the end of the first season.
Yeah, which is a pretty big moment.
It is.
Or is it? Mystery, man. People love mystery.
Yeah, but anyone who knows, they know that is a big moment. But anyone who doesn't know, they think, is it
spoiler alert?
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Cool. Well, please like, share and subscribe our music, Cosmic Bos. We'll be back again soon with something else.
Yeah, some improvisation with Joe Filler G.
That's the next stuff. Cool. Well, we'll end with Infinite Possibility Club, shall we?
Absolutely.
We made this
one of our songs, yeah.
Enjoy.
You've come to the to the